Hey there, Algebra 2 students. I wanted to go over a couple questions from 9.4 Part B from the homework. So number 4 said identify the graph of g of x equals sine of 2 times the quantity x plus pi. And we want to look for a couple things first. First, we notice that there is no number in front of the sine, right? And so our amplitude is still 1. So we can cross this guy off, right? This one goes up to 2 and down to -2. That is not the answer. We will notice this 2 here, and that will help us to determine the period of the function. So the period of the function would be 2 pi divided by 2, which is just pi. That leaves us with pi. So there will be one complete period between 0 and pi. And this plus pi over here means there's a horizontal shift left pi units. Well, if the period is pi, that may not mean very much to us, right? So which of these is our answer? Well, we can eliminate this one because it goes up to 2 and down to -2. We can eliminate this one because it goes up to 2 and down to -2. So let's look at these guys. Is the period pi units? Yes. Yes, there's a complete cycle between 0 and pi. Is the period 1? I mean, not the period. The amplitude 1? Yes. Now, if I were to shift this whole thing pi units to the left, that means I would take this point here and move it to the left, and it would actually land on itself because the period is pi. And so I think this is our answer right here. Bing. What about this guy? This looks like it is not, so like the normal sine function would start at 0 and it would go up. Right? Like that. But you're shifting it then pi units to the left, and when you do that, it actually lands on itself and it looks just like a regular sine function. And so that's our answer right there. Let's take a look at one more. This was an error analysis question. It says, describe the error in finding the period of the function y equals sine of 2/3 x. And they say, oh, well, the period is just b divided by 2 pi. Wrong. That's wrong. They're using the wrong expression. The expression for the period is 2 pi over the absolute value of b, not the absolute value of b over 2 pi. So we take the 2 pi and we divide it by the 2/3, which is the b in this instance, right? But remember that dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, so that the 2's cancel, and you're left with pi times 3, or 3 pi. So the period of this function is 3 pi. And let's see, most of you guys did really well with these. Some of you struggle whether or not it's a vertical stretch or a horizontal shrink, or stretch. And I guess the question is, well, how does the period change? If the period gets smaller, then it's a horizontal shrink. If the period gets larger, it's a horizontal stretch. And so that's how we would know whether or not it's a horizontal shrink or stretch. This one is by a factor of 1/3 because how does it change from 2 pi? It changes, it's divided by 3. So 2 pi over 3. And it is translated 3 pi units to the left and 5 units down of the graph of f. And that's number 8. All right, I think that is all for 9.4 part B. I hope you are all well. We'll see you next time.